So good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this look into the people issues regarding real estate and FM decisions. So I'm Peter Clinker, I'm Head of Facilities, Property and Facilities Management for Nestle UK. And my role in Nestle is to support the businesses and sites right across UK and Ireland in most of those real estate and FM services. We talked about Nestles, we talked about Nestle, and I think most people recognise the brand but don't really recognise the products. I think you will recognise the products behind them. So we're going to have a little interactive session and see if anyone around the room can give me a few of our products that we make. So this is a nice easy question.
Kit Kat.
Kit Kat, yes. I've got a question about Kit Kat in a moment actually. So I found one a little earlier, just to give you a clue. So, coffee. We are the largest coffee producer in the world, would you believe? Nescafe, Nespresso, products like that. Anything else from the floor?
Breakfast cereal?
Yes. Do you know which ones? It's the green top ones, isn't it? The healthy ones. So, shredded wheat, Cheerios, yeah. And you might be surprised that, there's something coming here, sorry. Cat food. Purina pet food is ours, one of the biggest, in fact, the biggest selling in UK now. So you might be surprised also to hear that we are Buxton Water. Our brand extends into San Pellegrino. So a lot of very, very famous brands. And we've mentioned Kit Kat and Rowntree's and Quality Street, etc. So we're normally known by those brands, etc. So we've got a big business. I've got a lot of people to support, etc. across the UK, Ireland, and clearly it's a global business as well. Coming back to Kit Kats, another question for you, a little tester, and this has been on TV recently, so it's a good pub quiz question, this one. So, in terms of quantity, on a daily basis, how many 2-bar Kit Kats do we make in York for UK consumption on a daily basis? I guess you don't know because people would normally give you the answer pretty quickly. So I buy a beer for the person that gets within 10% of the figure.
2 million.
2 million. Okay.
600,000.
600,000. Someone down here?
250,000.
250,000. 1.5 million. We make 6 million 2-finger Kit Kats on every day, and we can extend our production to 8 million as well, if we need to. UK production. If you work that out, we're all eating a bit of Kit Kat most weeks, so good on you, absolutely good on you. So thank you very much indeed, we appreciate it. And Chunk is on top as well. So my work in Nestle, and in some of my previous roles, I've come to realise that's a very, very big link between people and property issues, people and place, as I like to call it. So my theme this afternoon is to discuss some of those people issues and what we have discovered in Nestle as well. I'd like to share some of those thoughts, provoke some discussion, and let you know what we've been up to as well, which I hope will be of help to you. Just to let you know, I also spent 20 plus years in the Royal Air Force, not as a Red Arrows pilot, unfortunately, not as quite exciting that, but as a logistics officer. And it's interesting that the things that we did then in terms of supporting teams in operations are very similar to those that I face today, just in a different environment, that's all. So I would like to have a look at 3 topics. So we're going to explore these, understanding the needs of the workforce, aligned to our property support, looking at how people work, the different ways and options of working, their connectivity, work groups, etc., and the employee value proposition. What can we make, what will attract, retain and inspire our people? And if we get some of these things right, as professionals, we really help the business, I think. I'm going to mix some of these themes within the presentation as well, so you might just need to bear with me. But I think these are some of the key factors that we need to look at. So, how have Nestle been making decisions on our future workplace? and how should it be that we support our staff. One of the questions that came out this morning, I think, was how long does it take and who should make those decisions? Well, we've not finished this project by any means, and we've been working for 12 months with the board on this subject. We've been looking at the shape and size of the organisation, and in terms of who's involved, this is a project that's headed up by one of the senior HR practitioners and myself, and we report directly into the board. So back to the question we had when Joe was presenting this morning, I think it should be senior people in the business. I think the board need to be engaged in this conversation. Clearly they'll have some direction, strategic direction for the organisation, but that's the level we're working at, and that's the success level. And I think there was another question that came later. How do you drive this through the organisation as well? If you've got the board behind you, then that will help drive this desire to change the organisation as well. So this is what we've done to date. We start by creating, would you believe, that mission statement. We talked about it, Jazz talked about it this morning. We've all got a mission statement, but we wanted to put a statement down about the way that we work and the ambition for our workforce as well. And that leads me then to enable the right environment. We continue to look at the shape and size of the organisation and key factors that would affect the workplace. Next, we did some studies to identify the best sites for our teams as well. Who should be located in our, what is expensive London offices, who could probably go out into the suburbs, etc. Where to put our front office and back office functions. It's pretty obvious probably, but would you believe the mix of them currently is that they're probably in the wrong place. And we had some decisions to make as well about our environment. So our head office is in Gatwick. You'll all be aware that last year there was a big debate about the third London runway. So we had some items on the agenda that needed addressing as well. We've got land elsewhere, we've got buildings elsewhere that needed some decisions. But rather than just talk about the property portfolio, we wanted to look at the organisation, the shape of that organisation, the skills that were within it before we took a decision on where we were going to locate people. We'd moved on to look at what resources we have in those current locations. So we needed to look at what we call critical workforce segments. What was key to our business? Where would those segments work? What were they doing? What new segments did we need? Digital skills, sales skills, new e-marketeers. So as a new workforce developing, and our leaders were able to articulate to me and the HR team about what that shape would look like going forward. Having established the idea of who we wanted and where we want them, we then turned our focus on to how we want them to work. We did a staff survey, and I'm going to share some of the gems with you a little later on what our people were saying about how they work today, what they would like to aspire to, what type of buildings and environments they would like to work in, etc. And we did some research on new ways of working as well. So we went with the industry, we talked to other people about good and best practice. But I don't want to get involved in that design thing. I want to continue to talk about the people issues. So let's have a quick look at our work and place statement. And this gives you a few clues to where we were going. And I'll read it out for you, just to remind myself, I think. We aspire to offer a work and place environment which is known for being high quality and consistent across locations. A workplace environment and culture which serves as a driver for attracting talent, with offices in desirable locations. We aim to foster a culture of trust and empowerment where people can work in ways which best suit them and the activity they are doing, and where they are judged on the quality of their work, not the time put into it. We want our offices to facilitate and enable the type of work people are doing, offering a mix of working environments that enhance well-being. We envision our people coming to Nestle offices both to do detailed work and to collaborate with their colleagues. so they're engaged with the business and feel part of the core Nestle brand. We want to provide a suite of technology which enables people to work in mobile and agile ways, and we aim to leverage and apply analytics to better understand our business and make informed decisions about our work in place. Goodness me, we've heard all of those things today. We've talked about most of these things today. But this is the statement that we wanted, which we could nail to the mast almost with our senior team and go back to them. I had gone back to them to say, let's not forget, this is our aspiration, this is where we need to get to. In particular, when we've got the CFO all over me saying, it's going to be difficult, Peter. I can go back to the CEO and say, this was our aspiration. So I think it's really good to have the statement and our ambition. We then moved, going back to the previous slide, we did some staff surveys. And we looked at 3 particular areas in terms of our staff surveys. So well-being, workplace agility, and emotional connection. We did a whole series of questions. We did a question set to our staff that gauged and asked for comments as well. And I'm going to share some of those comments with you in a moment. And we didn't specifically set off with doing well-being, workplace agility, emotional. It's kind of how they came out. These were the key factors that were coming through in terms of the description of what our people wanted. These were the things that were really engaging them or troubling them or they had problems with, etc. And my suggestion to you, should you go down this route in terms of looking at the people aspects, is these are 3 pretty good subjects to look at, etc. So I'm going to share some of the comments which were quite revealing to us all and quite entertaining in part as well. I'm not going to leave this here too long because I don't want to wash all my dirty washing with you, but we've taken little snippets of comments. We'd love fruit balls. The office is old and tired, so that was our York office. It's not our new offices in Gatwick, etc. Food offering needs to vary. But interestingly, I want to emphasise what a huge positive difference and new ways of working have made to me. I was so surprised when I heard them and announced they seemed totally at odds with the culture that I had got used to here. I'm really, really grateful for these changes. And these were some soft changes that we introduced for people. And it wasn't necessarily about workplace, but it was about trusting our staff to flex their time and their hours, etc. We removed clocking in. So there were lots of soft elements in terms of helping the delivery of services and our business. And you can see by that comment there that it was a real passionate sort of response to what we had done for them. So we were heartened by that, but we were clearly in trouble with a number of other areas, as you can see. This is workplace agility. The one that really amused me was right in the middle. Telepresence has to be booked through God. I think everyone thought that the service we provide through Telepresence and those type of services were only exclusively available to the higher executives. And therefore, you know, it was a really good comment. It brought some sense around the boardroom about how we use our facilities as well, and how we provide them, and how we make them available to all and sundry, etc. Too noisy, issues about temperature, but we all face those, we all know those within the FM world. Someone will be warm, someone will be cold, someone's got too much light, someone has too little light, etc. But interesting to pick up on some of these particular points. And some people liking the open plan, other people's not liking the open plan as well. It's a big culture change. We moved from Croydon, I don't know if you were aware, but our head offices used to be in Croydon in a very tall, stacked building, and we've moved to a very open plan environment. And this is not our future, the design, this is something we did 3-4 years ago. And the change of that was dramatic and needed quite a big change management program and a lot of communication and a lot of management as well. The only people that have offices in our new environment are senior group directors, business directors that look after their own businesses. Nobody else has them. And that was a dramatic change for some of our direct reports and low-level directors as well. And a change process needs to be put in place to inform people about that change, etc. So we've got another step to take. If we want to improve the agility of people and the change of the environment, we clearly need to take some other steps as well. An emotional connection. So it's great that we have many senior leaders. It's great that not many senior leaders have offices and gives us access to senior people. Interesting dynamic there. So whilst on one hand, some of our senior leaders are saying, where's my office? I don't like this open environment. Many of the staff were saying, it's great to have the access, be able to get closer to work. And we're all facing this dilemma about people in and outside of offices, etc. But some challenges about the proudness of Nestle and showing their brands and heritage. I think we went to a fairly sterile building, but it was interesting that the emotion that came out of that move, we'd built up 40 or 50 years of heritage in our previous location, and people felt that we had eliminated that when we went to a very, very clean office. So part of our agenda is about bringing back to life some of those brands, some of the brands I talked about earlier on, back into the building so people can connect with them. And again, that's a people issue. It's about a personal feeling about what's happening around your business rather than a fixed FM piece of work, if you see what I mean. Clearly, the enablement of that will need my teams to do something around the building, designers, etc., etc. What's led us to it is the personal, the outcry from the staff, really, in that respect. So how we make decisions for our future workplace and property decisions, how are we going to do that? The current workforce and new generations of employees will need new environments, which are better supported to deliver, I think, smarter, quicker, and more flexible results. Work, as we're probably all aware, is more project-based now. Lots of our teams are working on major projects to deliver bigger, better results. But this can be delivered in a variety of locations. So it could be in the office, it could be on the move, it could be by home working, it could be embedded with clients. So our workplace and the teams that support it need to adjust, I believe need to adjust to meet these changing needs of people working. So let's explore the employee view and how we can support those people needs. We did a big piece of work about employee value proposition. So really getting to the heart of what people really want in terms of their jobs. What will attract the very, very best people? What will inspire them? What will allow us to retain them? And that EVP, that employee value proposition, we think is at the heart of some of those questions. We need to understand what will engage them for us to remain competitive in attracting that talent. Many of our new staff talk about the softer issues around their job. They're interested in their pay, they're clearly interested in their bonus, but they're also interested these days about their environments, some of the softer benefits which we in the FM business can help deliver and provide, etc. And it's the odd add-on sometimes that makes the difference in terms of the choice of profession or location. They want great environments in which to work. They want great support services, restaurants, coffee bars, shops, gymnasiums. I know it's a big list. I know it's a list of wants, but if we're going to remain competitive, these are some of the things that we need to deliver. They want out-of-hours activities. We need to deliver these support services for our people to make sure that we're attracting the very best people and to give them that value proposition. And we need to be able to support those areas as well. So taking that a step further with gymnasiums, with shops, with coffee bars, they all need support. They all need money, they need investment, etc. They may need a different type of support as we expand into these multiple extra services, etc. Health and well-being as well is high on the agenda in many businesses. It certainly is in ours. We plan to be the health and wellness company in the world, the biggest health and wellness company in the world. And our motto is good food, good life, as you were. So really important to us, and many businesses are now looking to provide extra support in terms of health and wellness for their staff. They want good food on their menus, in their cafes. They want wellness campaigns. They want support for health assessments. They need keep flip classes. But they also, I think, our people and we as leaders need to consider things like working patterns. And working patterns are changing. And in terms of the health and wellness agenda within Nestle, we are looking very closely at the way that people work. And we have great sympathy, I think more sympathy nowadays, for adjusting the working day, shall we say. People need to support their families. They need to support dependents. They have childcare arrangements. And if we can flex the working day to help support some of that, then so be it. Now, it's not always easy, and people have perhaps fixed demands on their hours. But if we can do that and encourage it, then part of the proposition aids us. However, to support that, it may affect our opening hours. It may affect our space utilisation. It may assist our space planning. No longer do we seek kind of standard working times now. There are people starting early, finishing early. Many offices are very devoid of people on Mondays and Fridays, particularly Fridays. So we're moving to a different way of supporting business, etc. And our service teams, our FM providers, our service in-house people need to start to adjust and extend their working hours to support these other arrangements. Not only does EVP, the employee value proposition, help attract staff, but a healthy and happy workforce gives us value back in commitment, loyalty, reduced sickness, and improved attendance. So if we can keep them fit and healthy, if we can keep them happy, if we can keep them engaged, it's likely that we will retain those and they will work better for us as well. So all these factors that are coming through in terms of these people issues are given back to me to say, can we support and can we help the overall business? And I think they're driving a change in the way that we are actually delivering corporate real estate and FM service changes as well. So some research said the well-being of work is improved when workplace accommodates family and home life, as well as entertainment and fitness activities. So why am I showing a slide with dogs? So the answer is we at Nestle have a big pet care business. And what we need to do is, what we have done is encourage people to bring their pets to work. And it's just a softer little touch to really engage with those people. Now, it presents problems. We have people that are against it. We have people that like it. There's a new cleaning regime. There is a real issue about pet behaviour as well. So we can only bring dogs to work that will behave themselves. But it's just another little thing that helps the value proposition. I'm going to finish with a quote from Jonathan Walsh from Personnel Today. A couple of things he says which are quite interesting. Quality of life is heavily influenced by an individual's chosen career path, goals and aspirations, social life and professional needs, while the means to what they do, what they enjoy, is influenced by where they go to work each day. We spend an awful lot of time at work each day. Yet work and well-being are rarely seen as compatible partners, and studies have shown that the workplace could actually be causing people to age beyond their years. A survey conducted by Britain's healthiest company examined everything from exercise to diet to blood pressure and depression, producing a regional breakdown of different work ages. This presented some alarming results. It showed the disparity between some employees' actual ages and their fitness levels. Geographically, it also found that the region trailed behind more youthful London working lifestyles. So the people in London, evidently, are living a better and performing better for us. Despite the threat that these results pose to the UK workforce, they are unlikely to prove surprising to conscientious employers. Many businesses are actively aware of the importance of its staff remaining active, healthy and balanced within the workplace, and aim to develop work environments that not only attract new talent, but also nurture current staff while they are at work. This is partly due to the diversification of working models. The term agile working is indicative of flexibility in more ways than one. Providing more options for staff means that employees can stimulate fitness, health and general well-being, but it also means offering anything from brighter spacings with bigger windows and open plan offices with room to move around, or encouraging remote working. So that's a quote from Jonathan Walsh. And I think we've touched on most of the things, and we've touched on many of those things today as well. The working place and environment is changing. We need to care for our people. So what can we do as corporate real estate and FM professionals? We need to work out the people's need of our business and workforce. We need to understand the organisation with the HR professionals. We are the people who have responsibility to develop and create great workspaces and buildings that will inspire our staff. We need to understand the changing face of work, home working, its challenges, digital, EVP, agile workforces, etc. And we need to provide great services that support this changing workplace as well. Final thoughts about employee value proposition. The workplace, and it's not just about a funky office, about heading to the workplace gym, or about eating healthy food. The aim is to create a sociable, comfortable space that blurs the distinction between work and leisure. Interesting words. Blurs the distinction between work and leisure. Employees are tasked with removing anything that might obstruct a relationship between work and happiness. This means building a place in which people are happy with their role, but content with their bodies, minds, and the community that surrounds them. We spend a lot of time at the workplace, so let's understand what our people need and what we can do to help it. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.